So, welcome everyone. Um, this is kind of our kickoff call, and what we do is we meet 3 times, sometimes 4 times, but this time we'll do 3 times because we have Summit, right? And hopefully we'll see you guys all at Summit this year. So we'll meet every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time right now. So for the next 2 times anyway. And what we do is we talk about, like this time we'll talk about some things like getting started right. So think of like, this is your getting started right call. We'll talk about Beachbody and why we got started, and Brian and I'll introduce ourselves and talk about, why we do this. And we talk a little bit about some important things that you need to know as a new coach, right? And some things that you want to be doing to be successful in this business. And then next week, we talk more about social media and how to do things, during your power hour, as we like to say, or power hours, depending on, how successful or how quickly you want to do this business. And then our third week, we talk about achieving like a new rank of Emerald or above, or Success Club, or, explaining volume to you and how to earn money and those good things. So let's get started. I'll start by just sharing. I started in this business about 7 years ago now. I mean, it doesn't seem that long, but I guess it has been. And I started because I didn't think that I was coming into $1 million business. I thought that this was a company that made amazing programs, right? I did P90X and I lost 40 pounds and I got off blood pressure medication, and I was part of my coach's challenge group, and I thought it was a lot of fun, and I thought that I could do that myself. So that was one of the main reasons that I wanted to become a coach, is I wanted to do what he was doing and, help other people get the results that I got. Also, when I found out that I could save 25% on everything I bought, and I had started drinking Shakeology, which I definitely wanted to save money on. So for me, it was a no-brainer to become a coach. And I've been a coach ever since. And I didn't even know that I could make money in this business in the beginning. Basically, I just wanted to help as many people as I could. I wanted to get as many people in my challenge group as I possibly could. And those people started, switching over to me or started purchasing from me. And, eventually I started by, a couple months, I was getting my car payment paid for. And then, I started getting my house payment paid for, and then pretty soon I was making more than I was making at my full-time job. So I said, screw this. I'm gonna quit, and I'm gonna work from home or do this full-time from home. And that's what I did. And so I've been a full-time coach for, I guess, over 3 years now, 3.5 years, something like that. And so it's just been a blast. It's been so much fun. And it's like I said, it's like, don't think that this is a get rich quick business. It's a get rich slow business. And rich is not guaranteed, but if you are going to get rich, you're going to get rich slow, right? But it's better than not getting rich at all, right? So, whatever you're currently doing is probably not going to make you rich, right? I mean, you could have a great job, but you're probably not going to be rich, right? Or it's not probably fulfilling your dreams that you have, right? Where this opportunity really can do that. If there's another opportunity that you are part of that can make all your dreams come true, or at least your financial ones, then by all means do it, you know? But if you have nothing better, then do this. How's that for a sales pitch? All right. So, Brian, you want to go ahead?
Great sales pitch.
Yep.
All right. What's up, Mika, Samara? Who else we got? Nora, John, and who was that?
Peggy.
Peggy.
Peggy. Hi, Peggy. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good, good. Cool. I haven't done one of these in a while. I missed the last round of the new coach training calls, so it's good to be back. Well, I am rich from coaching, so I don't know what Greg was talking about. In different ways, not financially rich. But I'll touch on that real quick. By the way, my name is Brian Rolka. I have been a Beachbody coach now for 5 years. I started with Beachbody about 6 years ago. Actually, in July, it will be 6 years. July 4th was when I pushed play on my very first workout, which was Insanity. Yes, because I was insane. At that point in my life, working out was something that I decided that I needed to do. I was just getting out of rehab, or I just got out of rehab. Alcoholism runs in my family, and it didn't skip me. And most of my adult life, I was addicted to alcohol, addicted to prescription drug medication, suffered from anxiety, suffered from depression, and then all the health ailments that come with being overweight and obese. I was 260 pounds, sleep apnea, high blood pressure.
You're 100 pounds more than you are now,
100
right?
pounds more than I am right now. I am
Insanity. I told him he was insane.
Yeah. Well, Insanity, you know, I mean, it took about 1.5 years to lose 100 pounds, but it's kick-started with Insanity. So yeah, that's where my journey was, and working out was just something that, to help with my recovery process after getting out of rehab, was something that just they kind of teach you that in rehab is you know, exercise, right? Makes you feel better. It's something to do. And I really, more than anything else in the world, I wanted to make sure my sobriety stuck. So it was, of all the things that I did, you know, that was one of them, exercise. So what better way to do it than, I had no idea what Beachbody was. My wife ordered Insanity, the infomercial, and I was like, what the heck is this crazy thing? She's like, don't worry about it, just do it. All right. It practically killed me. But it got me started. It got me started on the journey. And then that was the most important thing. The second most important thing was I met Greg, and I joined one of his groups. And I, you know, and once again, no idea what an accountability group was or a support group was. I thought they were just all crazy people in there. And I'm like, what are they doing? I was like quiet for like the first week, just kind of reading with people. I'm like, oh my God, what are they sharing? This is nuts. I would never share that. Oh, man. But of course they broke me down, and I started connecting with people with their journey. They started connecting with mine. And it was just an amazing experience to be able to share that with so many people. And Greg was he is an amazing coach. You know, I didn't know the guy really too much back then, but you know, it was just, it was awesome. So when I was asked to become a coach, Greg asked me, I told him no a couple different times because I really didn't understand it. And then finally I said yes, because saving money on Shakeology, and back then there was no VOD, so every new program you wanted, you had to order it and buy it and get the DVDs. I kind of miss those days, but that's the way it was back then. So the 25% discount was awesome because, you know, I was hooked. I was a fit fanatic, so I knew I was going to get more programs.
Those days are back. Now you got to unlock everything.
Those days are back. Yeah, they're kind of coming back. So becoming a coach, I just like Greg, I had no inclination of doing it where I was going to make a lot of money. My coaching why is very simple. I fell in love with being a servant to other people, helping other people. And because of that, it helped with my sobriety. It made sure that I was filling up my time with positive actions and positive behaviors. And many addicts miss that part, and they don't do that. And that's why they relapse and go back, is because they haven't found something to fill that void. And coaching, it just came natural that this is something that's going to fill that void. So I put everything into it. Everything that I had, learned as much as I could. When I first signed up, I had no idea about coaching or anything. So I kind of learned from Greg and went with calls like this and just on my own. And then I started my own groups, and it's just been an incredible blessing. I had no idea that it would turn into, that it would be as successful as it is for me. Greg was right on point when he said it is a slow burn, because it does, well, it all depends on what your goals are. It all depends on, how far you want to take this business. I mean, the opportunity is there to go all the way with it, like Greg and I do. But it really is up to you. But it is a slow burn, and now after 5 years of being a coach, it's pretty cool to kind of sit back and see and harvest the fruits of all of the work that has been done. And there's more work to do, and the work is constant, but it's really nice to be able to do things now financially wise that we couldn't do in the past, and this opportunity has made that all possible. I was able to buy a house because of coaching. I was able to pay off $60,000 of credit card debt, all because of Beachbody coaching. Able to take trips with my wife, and those are big things. But sometimes it's like the little things that are really, really cool, that really matter, like taking my wife out to dinner and not worrying about, when the check comes and what credit card I need to use, and if I'm going to be able to pay it at the end of the month. Little things like that really mean a lot. Or going shopping and then, and spending, $150, $200 at the grocery store, and coming home and then being like, oh my God, I can't believe we spent all this money, and instead being able to do that and not have that stress and worry. And that's what coaching has done for me. So my why, very, simple and straightforward. I do it so I can continue my sobriety. I do it so that I can help as many people as I can, create relationships with people, and I do it to have fun. We got Coach Summit coming up in a couple weeks, and those are always great events. And there's so many different events, and we'll talk a little bit more about all the different things you get to do as a coach. So it truly is, it's amazing. If you put the time into it, if you tell yourself, it's something that I have to work hard at, and something that's going to take some time, kind of like your workout, your fitness and health lifestyle. It doesn't happen overnight, but you work at it a little bit of each day, and you get that compound effect kicking in, and then things begin to pay off, and you do see those results. So it's a little bit about me. What do you want to talk about now? You want to go around the room and have everyone introduce themselves?
If you want to, we can do that briefly. So Peggy, you want to go first?
Okay, so hi.
Hey.
My name is Peggy, and from the Great White North of Canada. So woohoo! It is Stanley Cup season on, so I think there's a game on soon. So anyway,
you're gonna have to
I'm gonna have to go. There's a hockey game going on. So the reason my reason for why is right now I work as a city manager, so I've a pretty large staff. I've been doing, I would say, like the upper management stuff for a good 10 years, middle management for 10 years before that. I'm getting a little tired of it. I've been doing Beachbody for a really, really long time. And actually, I have all the DVDs also, and they're still right there. The good news is that when the internet goes out, you can still work out. That is the bonus. So don't forget, it's sometimes good going old school.
Yep.
So yeah, I enjoy the workouts. I found that it's really helped me. Ironically, I was talking to a few of my friends about the new programs coming up, and they're actually dance moms. My daughter's a competitive dancer. And they all reminded me of the times that we'd be going to competitions, and I'd be like, I'm going to go work out. And they're like, well, what are you doing? And I would tell them, and next thing you know, we're going to the hotel trying to find a room, and we had all these dance moms doing a BOD. So I kind of have the group already. But no, I really enjoy the networking, to be totally honest. We did the personality check. I'm actually an introvert, but I really enjoy actually the conversations. I'm kind of a weirdo this way about developing businesses and developing business plans and, getting the marketing and all that together. So I'm kind of excited to develop that portion of it. As I said, I want to build it. It'd be kind of cool to have like at least one bill paid right now with the earnings from Beachbody, and see where it grows from there. But yeah, so that's about it. I know it's funny because I told my husband, I said, yeah, I'm joining Beachbody again as a coach. And he looked at me and he goes, it's about bloody time, because you were really good at the last time, except you didn't get the support. So I'm really happy to be part of this, because I'm finding that I'm getting the support that I need to kind of get everything running. I have to say the title of the team, Engage, is perfect, because this is exactly what this team does. It engages everybody and kind of gets everybody excited about being a coach. And so that's about it with me.
Awesome. And I'll just say that, because I'm going to talk about this next week, but I always preach that, guys, Instagram is where you meet people, and you just have to reach out and follow up with people. And that's where I met Peggy. And she told me that she's been doing Beachbody for 7 years or something, and like me. And we connected, and I found out that she was a coach in the past, and she quit because she had no support from her upline coaches. And I said that is just unheard of, on my team, that I support everyone. It doesn't matter if they're 15 levels down. So she decided to give it another shot, and now, I'm thrilled that she's come on board. But, it just shows you like what we're going to be talking about next week, and making connections. And it doesn't have to be in person, although in person is great, but it can be on things like Instagram. So, all right. Mika, you want to go next?
Well, I'm Mika. As Brian knows, I've tried this several times, and life has gotten so much in the way. During the time that I've met Brian, I have been pregnant and divorced, which is my new transition now. So I'm trying the single motherhood and trying to get them from A to B, and homework, and everything is kind of descending upon me. So it's like I've lost myself in the process. So I'm trying to focus on getting myself back in the process. I've kind of had a rough past few years. So, like Brian, you've had a rough time, and, you've managed to get through it through this organization. And, it's time for me to trust the process, as they say, and just do it little by little and get in there. Because, the only way things are going to change is I have to change. So that's one thing I've realized is, I can't keep doing the same thing. I got to change, and I can't worry about what other people think about me changing. I just got to do it.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
I know, you know who Summer Tucker is? Mika?
I think that name sounds familiar.
Okay, she's a 15-star coach, but she tells a story about how when her husband left, went overseas for the military, and she was depressed and was basically just spending every day like crying, and she walked by a sign that said, if you want something different, you have to do something different. And like right then decided, I'm going to give this Beachbody thing a go. You know, she was a coach like you, but she just never did anything with it. And then just that one decision turned her into a millionaire, right? And a 15-star diamond coach. So you can do it.
Yeah, I know I can. I know it's up here. I gotta, you know, I need like a kick in the back.
Yeah.
That's really what I need.
Yeah, it's all, you know, you're going to learn, and you've already have learned some things, and you'll learn some more things. And learning is great, but the action part of it, I think that's where what is stalling you. So you get over that, and you just say, like you just said, like, I don't give a shit what anybody's doing. And that's it. I'm going for it, and I'm doing it. And you get over that one wall, and believe me, it's gonna explode and open up. It's that action phase.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there is a good book.
And look, you see what I'm reading?
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna recommend, there's another good book called Punch Fear in the Face and Start. And it's by John Acuff. Yes. That is what you need to read.
Right here. We did not plan that. I was reading it. I actually have been posting some stuff from this in my challenge, my current challenge.
Yes. I mean,
And what was the other one?
what is that?
You said 2 books.
Oh, no, that was it. That was it.
Oh, like you said, 2 books.
Punch
Okay.
Fear in the Face.
Okay.
Punch Fear in the Face was the other one. Or is that?
No, it's the same book. It's the longest title in history. It's
Okay.
Punch Fear in the Face, Escape Average, Do Work That Matters, Start. That's
Okay.
that's the title.
You just needed like 5 more words for that.
Okay.
I'll look at Amazon.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, has anybody here read this besides me and Greg?
You said a what?
No. Has anybody read it yet? No. Okay.
Oh, no.
Let me just tell you real quick about this book, because it is amazing, and what it does is it gives you all of the phases that every single person has to go through in order to become successful, and it breaks down each one of those, and you can't. People think they can skip from the first one to the 4th one to the 5th, and you can't. You have to do them in order. Phases are learning is the first phase. The second phase is editing. The third phase is mastering. The 4th phase is harvesting, and then the 5th phase is guiding. And it's exactly what it sounds like. You know, we have to learn first. We take in all the knowledge, and there's action with every phase. And then the editing phase is the knowledge you took in, the action that you did, and then redefining it and seeing what works and changing things and editing it all around. And then you move on to, once you get that, you move on to the mastering phase, where, you know, exactly what it sounds like, but there's more steps involved there. And then obviously everyone's favorite, the harvesting phase, you know, where you're collecting on those rewards from everything that you did. And finally is the guiding phase, and that's giving back, and that's teaching others how to do it. And you can't, like I said, you can't jump around. I mean, sometimes you go backwards, forwards, but you can't skip any of those phases. And a lot of people who want success, they try to do that. And there's, you know, even if you look at, like, say, successful like actors, right, who work on their craft, you know, since they're a little kid, and they go to acting school, and they become these big, you know, actors, well-known. Harrison Ford, I don't know, that just came to mind. But then now that they're successful actors, because they went through all those phases, they think they can, you know, do anything, and they release an album, right? You know, oh, this album's going to be huge. You know, it's the new album coming out, and everyone's gonna love it. You know, it's Johnny Depp, right? You know, everyone's gonna just buy it. It's gonna be a mega hit, you know, and then it flops because they didn't go through those phases when it came to music. You know, mastering and harvest, they didn't go through all of that. They just jumped around, and they just weren't successful. So, and that's what, and that's among other things. The book also teaches you about fear and how to overcome it. But it's a great book. And if you apply all the tools that are in there, which is something that I have done, which is something that Greg has done, personal development is key to being a coach. Personal development is key to everything in life, personal growth. And if you're missing that piece of the puzzle, it's going to be very, very, very difficult. And by very difficult, I mean it's never going to happen for you to be successful in this business. So personal development, very important.
And
You got to rework the mind.
Yeah, if you don't have
Mindset.
time to read, then just subscribe to Audible like I do,
Mm-hmm.
and you can get every single book, and you can just listen to it while you drive or whatever else you do. So,
Okay.
so yeah,
Thanks, guys.
is key. Yep. All right. Thank you. Samara, you want to go?
Hello. I joined May of last year. Yep. So I just passed my 1-year anniversary and I got my 365 Shakeology. Woohoo! And I've lost 25 pounds and got 50 more to go, and love Beachbody and love this team. I'm so glad Brian found me. And I've met Greg. So I've met Greg, haven't met Brian. I go down to Virginia to see the wonderful events. But I'll be at Summit next year and I'll get to meet Brian too. But I love this team. I'm so happy to just be a part of it. I had, some success and then lost everybody. And now I'd say I'm in the editing phase and have one of the best things is just in terms of my loved ones. Obesity runs on both sides of my family, and I'm watching my loved ones who have to be on 8 diabetes pills down to 2 with 2B Mindset. And I would say in all my years, I used to be a Weight Watchers seminar leader for 8 years, and I would say in all of my journey, I've been trying to find the thing that could work for my family, and I feel like I finally found it. And that is such a blessing, and I just can't wait for everybody to jump on board to this amazing, 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 amazing Beachbody. So glad to be here.
Are you talking about 2B Mindset or Beachbody is the?
All of it, but 2B
Cool.
Mindset in terms of the medication and nutrition that they're able to follow, and then other people are so happy with the workouts. It's all wonderful.
You should reach out to all your old Weight Watcher people and
I
say,
know.
I'm going to be hosting a meeting every week, and we're calling it 2B Mindset.
Exactly. They got to come on board.
Yep. And you got to pay me $16 every Zoom call.
Instead of 42.
Right. Whatever it was, yeah. All right, John, you want to go?
Hey everyone, I'm John from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I've been a coach a little over 3 years. My coach, Greg, found him on the message boards, and then so my friend recruited me, and my friend pretty much did nothing. So I kind of latched on to Greg and Brian and a couple other coaches. Pretty much all over the place as far as consistency. I know it takes consistency, but I've been bad at it. Have a good month, have a bad month. I attend most of the calls that I can, put in the work as far as posting, but follow-ups and call to actions are definitely something I'm horrible at. I run a lot of free groups, and I run the group for the entire month, and then I just don't post about the opportunity for challenge packs or coaching or anything. I just basically run free groups. So that's something I'm getting better at as far as I'm posting every day, and I'm going to start hitting the people basically 2 or 3 times in that span versus just waiting till the end, because that's something I'm not good at.
Yeah.
Personal development. I finally got into personal development. I put it off for the first 2.5 years. All the excuses, you know, I really genuinely hate reading. Like, I couldn't tell you how many books I bought. I've flown overseas multiple times. I'm like, oh, I got 22 hours on this flight. I read 20 pages. So Audible is the best investment. I pay the $15 a month and you get a credit. So there's times I'll buy a $40 book and then all it costs me is $15. And then you get 30% off of every other purchase. So I go through, my drive to work is 50 minutes one way. And I go through a new book every 9 days. Like, I just kill books. So I'm
Wow.
always looking for, yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I've multiple times I've listened to Compound, GoPro, you know, some of the other ones. I mean, just, and it's funny because it's true. I was listening to GoPro this morning, and Eric Worre is absolutely right as far as if you buy a book and read it, you're probably going to read it one time. But when you listen to these audio books multiple times, something catches you new every time because you're essentially a different person each time. So there's things that the first couple times I listened to it, it really didn't resonate with me, but it seems to sink in more as you go through certain periods of your life. So, you know, he says in the book that it takes you about 7 years to become an expert when you get into network marketing. So I'm at the halfway point and I'm way behind the curve. So that's something that Greg's been messaging me a lot more, and you know, since my coach fell off, and I need that. So I've been messaging him, doing a better job of reaching out to him for questions, and hopefully these new coaching calls, obviously you can see they're not for new coaches because, you know, I've been doing it for a while, but I love it. I've maybe thought about quitting one time for maybe 30 seconds, but at that time I was already into personal development, and I said, I love the person that I'm becoming. Just, it forces me to develop every day with the Beachbody coaching. And I know anybody can be successful in this business because I truly believe that Beachbody is the best package deal, because there's people that sell these shakes, but how many people do you see, they might do a $200 or $300 shake, but for whatever reason, they're still using the on-demand. So that's something that I know I need to do a better job of telling people about, because I have friends that do Thrive and these other products, and what they pay for monthly is ridiculous. But then on the keto, especially, you know, everybody's into the keto now, paying $100 a month for that, but yet they're still doing the Beachbody on demand. So I think the Shakeology itself is something that needs to be advertised more, I guess.
Yeah, you're right. Beachbody has the whole package. I mean, it's like the It Works people and the keto people and the whatever people, they all do Beachbody because they only have part of the solution, or you know, what they think is part of the solution, right? So yeah, we are in the best company in the fitness space, in my opinion. So yeah, thanks, John. And that's awesome that you're doing all that personal development. I mean, you just gotta get the start, and you gotta start implementing it. That's the key, right?
Right, absolutely. I mean, I implement it in all phases of life now. You know, it's funny how much I find myself talking about compound. And I never thought about that in any respect before. So these books definitely have a lot of great tips. So I don't know why it took me so long, but I'm grateful now because I can't see not doing it. I'm constantly recommending books to people now. People are like, who are you?
Yeah. Do you read? What?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but you mentioned, you know, thinking about quitting. And I can tell you that if you come to an event like Summit, right? Or like we want to talk about Summit, and And if you guys come to an event like Summit and you get to hang out with us for the entire, long weekend, you will never want to quit this business, right? Because you're going to develop, or you go on a trip with us, like Success Club trip, or even like Samara has come down and visited me a couple times at my Super Saturdays that I host. If you get together like with us as part of our team, you're never going to want to quit this business, because you're going to develop friends for life. You're going to experience these life-changing events, and you're going to see a much bigger picture of what this is. It's not just buying a shake and doing a workout. It's friends and family and, and so much more, potential of what this business can be. So,
and that's something that, that sometimes it's hard for people, or not hard, but they don't realize that's also part of coaching. Coaching is not just, doing our workouts and the nutrition plans. It is so much more than that. It is the community that exists on our Team Engage, the community that exists with Team Beachbody. That's why it's Team Beachbody. And a lot of coaches forget to talk about that when they talk to people about it. They're so worried about talking to them about Shakeology and what should I tell them if the ingredients spirulina, should I explain that to them, or what about this 2B mindset? How am I going to talk about that? And instead of thinking of what becoming a coach and what this whole experience, this whole journey has really been about, and then explaining that to people. And it's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy. It's difficult. It took me a long time to kind of realize to do that, and then how to do it. And I'm still trying to figure that out as well. But that, it's so important that we talk about that. And that's something, John, that you could talk about in your free groups. Not just saying, at the end, here's the challenge pack. Now go buy it. It's $140 and you get this, this, and this. Just talk about, the community. If you got a free group going on right now, John?
I do, yes. I run it. So I run it the 1st through the 21st of every month. One month, I was all over the place. Like I started on the 5th or 6th. It's definitely one of these calls. I forget who it was, but it might have been like Sarah, Christine, and they said they specifically started on the 1st just because it's easier to keep track of. That way, everybody knows, hey, the 1st, John's group starting, and the 21st, it's over. So
right.
And I've dabbled in 10, 14. It seems to be easiest just to keep it at 21.
Have you ever discussed in your free group what you just discussed with us just now about how personal development has changed you and what you're doing with it?
You know what, Brian, I haven't. I just basically I post workouts and motivational stuff every day, and then the 20th I might post a video, and like when I say might, I mean I'm probably talking maybe 33% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll post a video, say, hey, hope you like this group. If you're looking for something more challenging, feel free to, I'll put my link below if you want to create an account. And I mean, that's pretty much what I've done. Obviously, I need to change that because I've been running a challenge group since day one. So 3 years, I've never really converted a stranger. I've had friends or family members that were in the group that purchased. I don't know if they purchased because of the group or because of Instagram or Snapchat. I don't know specifically why, but I just know I've never had a stranger from a free challenge group buy something.
Right. But people, what they want to hear, they want to hear about you. They want to hear what makes John tick. They might not know it, but that's what they want to hear. They want to hear how John is doing, what you're doing, what this has done for you, why you are so happy and excited and enthusiastic all the time. They want to know what is going on. And it's not just the workouts. The workouts are a little bit of that. The Shakeology is a little bit of that. But a lot of that is our community and being a coach and what it truly, truly means to you. And people in your free group, everyone here, all of your challengers should know your why. They should know it, that you should be discussing it in your groups. They should know what you're doing for personal development and personal growth. You should be discussing it in your groups. You should be telling them what you're reading. It's not only the workouts and the nutrition. It's the whole thing, because then when the group comes to that end and you're ready to do your call to action to have them graduate, right, and then get into, I don't know what a premier groups that you run, or if you're with Greg's groups, they want to come join that, not because they fell in love with T25 or 2B mindset. It's because they fell in love with your story and they trust you and they know and they see that, wow, look at John and everything that John's doing. He's so open, he's so real, he's so raw, he's so honest. And he's changing his life. That's what I want. I don't care what program I'm doing. That's what I want. So I'm going to follow John and I'm going to get this, and I want to go into his premier group and I want to see what's going on in there. So I think maybe that's what you're missing is bringing everything full circle around and not skipping that part about the community, personal development, and all the other great stuff that we do.
Okay, let me ask you one question, Brian.
Sure.
So I like to post the books that I'm reading, but I become hesitant whenever it's a book about becoming a networking professional or how to sell, things like that. Like, do you think if I post a book like that, is that turning people off? Like, people thinking, oh, he's just learning to manipulate people.
Well, it all depends how you're presenting it. If you're taking something from that book, whether it's teaching you how to be a network marketer, and it's something that you can share that might help somebody else, then yeah, definitely go for it. A lot of the books that I do and I talk aren't necessarily about network marketing, though. And this is me, answering this personally. It's all the other, it's books like this, like Punch Fear in the Face, and no matter what goal you're reaching towards, everything that I'm learning, you can apply to it. So, I don't necessarily think people would be interested in unless you've already talked to them, maybe a little bit about network marketing and coaching. But I don't think, I don't know, Greg, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't think you want to pitch the book. You want to, if you're on your way to work, right, and you learn something new, right, you take away something. Well, before you forget it, first thing you do when you get out of your car or before you get out of car is create a post, right?
Right.
And say what you took away, right? That you can share with others, that you can apply to fitness or coaching or whatever, right? And you're imparting that wisdom on people, and they're going to be like, wow, he's so smart. But really, you got it from a book, right?
Well, you got it from a book and you interpreted it in your way.
Yep.
And you took something, and it was personal. You took something from it, and now you're sharing that.
Right. And when I say, I'm not really promoting the book, I'm more so sharing a picture of the book, and I'm just saying, oh, I got in 45 minutes of personal development today, But you're saying more so, hey, this is what I took in from this was today. Okay.
Yeah, go deeper than that. Yeah. You don't just
picture of you and how you apply it to yourself, right?
Okay.
Or something,
That's kind of like, and we're going to talk about this like with Instagram next week. The coaches that post on Instagram or even sometimes in their groups where you just post that I just sweated my ass off today and did this killer workout. It was awesome. And then it's a picture of you. What value did that just bring to somebody? Absolutely none. None. People are going to see that and go, oh, there's John again. There's Mika again. Okay, whatever. You want to come up with something that is going to add value. If you take a look at my Instagram, every time I try to post, that's the one question I'm constantly asking myself is when I'm writing my post, is this going to add value to somebody's day? Are they going to learn something from this? Are they going to take something away from this? Is it going to motivate them? Is it going to inspire them? And are they all gold? No, some of them suck. Some of them are great. But, the more you do it and the more you work on it, the more personal development you do, the easier it gets to come up with things like that. But that's what you want to do. So John, to answer your question, ask yourself that. Posting a picture of GoPro and saying that you did 45 minutes of personal development today, how did that add value to anybody in the group? But if you post maybe a quote from that book because it resonated with you, and then you Googled it and you found an image of the quote, and that's what you're going to post. And then you're going to write and say, I did 45 minutes of personal development today, and I came across this one quote that just really resonated with me. And it was because of this reason. That's what you want to be doing.
Okay, thanks.
Makes sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, that's kind of direction that I need. Thank you.
Cool. All right, Nora. And now John's taking all the time, so you're out of time. Sorry. No.
That's perfect. Well, I'm currently in a laboratory position, and so it's kind of like I always thought it was the perfect job for me because even though I'm a passionate person, I'm an introvert. But I've kind of found that that's not enough for me anymore. And I was actually introduced to Beachbody a couple of years ago with a pathologist's wife. She's had major success on her journey with the 21-Day Fix. And she became a coach. And so I was one of her first, her first client. I guess, is that the word? And so it was actually a lot of growth of kind of finding out what I was made of and my strength and willpower, and I've stumbled along the way, and, she eventually had to quit coaching because, life happened for her. And, somehow I landed under Greg because a while back when I was new to Beachbody, he did reach out to me, and I kindly told him I had to coach. But his persistence with me kind of stayed on my radar when I found that the last coach I had was she was just not supportive and absent. And so I actually reached out to Greg. And so in a matter of a few months, I went from, him being my coach to where I chose to become a coach. So I'm kind of out of my comfort zone in this, where I find that I want to reach out. And my why is because I absolutely believe in this product. If Greg can tell you, like when I reached out to him, I was in bad shape, and I had let myself go just in a matter of months of gaining my health. I lost it to the point where I was a full-fledged diabetic. And, I had to make a decision where I didn't want to go on meds. And because I saw what insulin did to a loved one, and I wasn't going to go down that path. And so, I'm finally here where, I just now got my blood sugars down to a control level, and I'm embracing the 2B mindset program, and I'm so excited about it. And it's like, my coworkers, they've seen my progress, and everybody's like, well, how are you doing it? What are you doing? And it's just, I get shy. It's like, I feel, and it's just like, it's frustrating because I'm sitting on this product that really works. And my way may not be the best way for somebody else, but there's something, Beachbody offers something for everybody. And I recognize that. And so my stumble is getting myself out there, to talk about what I believe in.
Nora, you're so passionate about 2B and all that stuff. And I know Samara is too. You guys really should just partner up and literally start, like, run a group or, host a Zoom call and invite all your friends to it and just share like you've been sharing with us on this call. I think if you shared that with a meeting, a group of people, they would get so excited after you told your stories and your weight loss and you shared all that they would definitely want to sign up and join you, you know?
And like I say, you know who my partner in crime is, Greg, and it's like he's the exact opposite. He has people who want to go to him, but he's still learning the business, and so and so he's having a hard time selling the product. But he has the crowd, whereas I don't have the crowd, but I have the passion. And like, how do we combine that?
Yeah, that's a challenge.
But one thing you mentioned, Nora, I would say 99.99% of all Beachbody coaches were all introverts, every single one of us. And I think that's why this company and this lifestyle and passion resonates with all of us. Is because it really takes us out of our comfort zone, which is something that you have to do in order to have personal growth. It's constantly getting out of your comfort zone. And even when you see those coaches on stage and stuff, they just, when you look at them, everyone, we've all started as that introvert. Crap, when I started as a coach, I doing something like this right now, being on a call and doing a training call. What are you kidding? 6 years ago, 5 years ago, if you would have told me that, like if I would have looked into a crystal ball and saw the future, I would have laughed at you and said, that ain't my future, because there's no way I'm doing that. No, hell no. But that's where you get to. Those are the steps that you go through, and each time you do it, getting out of your comfort zone, you get more comfortable with the uncomfortable, and that's what we do as coaches, and that's what's going to make you successful. One quick advice for you, maybe also to work on your 30-second commercial. So when people ask you about 2B Minds, or what are you doing, you look great, what's going, you already know what you're going to say. And that's, work on that, write it out, memorize it, improvise here and there, but, have that prepared. So this way you're not caught off guard. That's your elevator pitch, right? You're in the elevator for 30 seconds, know exactly what to say to you.
Yeah. All right. Thanks. Bridget, you want to share?
Sure. I guess I kind of missed the beginning of the call because I couldn't find the link, but are we just sharing kind of our story?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, just why you got into coaching and.
Okay. Well, I got into Beachbody 3 years ago, and then 2 years ago I became a coach because I saw the opportunity to help other people and try to make a business out of it. We're getting ready to make a move to the neighboring county, so I'm kind of hoping that I can really build this thing so that maybe eventually I can work from home, because I'll be about 20 minutes out of town. So I'm kind of hoping I won't have to drive to town every day. I feel like I struggle with, inviting and, really, just saying it. I feel like I don't have a problem talking to people, but really like asking for the sale, I feel like that's a hard part for me. And so I've done a good job of connecting with new people and then adding them to my group. But then sometimes I struggle with the follow-up, or like what, when to ask them, because I'm always afraid I don't want them to think I'm, trying to sell them something all the time. So I'm working on building my friendships with people first. And that seems to be working. But of course, then it seems like some of them just kind of hang out there, which I'm sure maybe eventually some of them will come around. But
yeah. Well, like for me, it's like I'm always inviting people to my free group, right? And they all see I'm not advertising. I mean, I'm talking about Lift 4, but really they're not seeing it from me. They're seeing it from Beachbody. Beachbody is advertising the heck out of it, right? So they all know about it. They know it's coming. So it's the perfect opportunity for me to ask them, hey, are you interested in Lift 4 when it comes out? The packs go on sale. And I tell them that I can give you an even better deal. Would you be interested? That's how I position it. I'm like, I can give you a discount. Would you be interested in it? And they're like, yeah, tell me more about it, you know? So
That's a good idea.
I don't feel like I'm selling anything to anybody, you know? And if it's not a new program, I just say, because they see everyone else in the group drinking Shakeology, I just ask them, hey, have you ever thought about trying Shakeology? I can give you a discount on it for a month if you want to try it. They'd be like, yeah, I want to try it. Like, okay. Or you don't have Beachbody on demand yet? Hey, you see everybody else in the group that's doing it. Would you like to try it? You know, that's how I approach it. And yeah, 99% of the time, after they've been in my group for a while, they say, yeah, I want to try it, you know? But like John was saying, I never hit anybody up cold. Like even after the free group, right? It's like, I just try to get them into my group, my existing ongoing group for free, you know, and build a relationship with them. And if they say, no, I'm not interested right now, that's fine. They stay in my group and I'll hit them up again a month later, 2 months later, or whatever. I do the same thing with coaching. It's just like, hey, you're doing amazing. You're encouraging people. I think you would make a great coach. Have you ever considered it? That's the same way I approach coaching, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I think I have a hard time finding coaches. I think that's the hardest part for me too. Even harder than just inviting people to my free group is like, it seems like it's hard to get people on board with the business opportunity for me.
Well, typically if you can get somebody to stay active in your group for more than 30 days, getting them to become a coach is pretty simple, you know, especially if you start drinking Shakeology. Like I'll typically start by offering them Shakeology. I get them to try it. Then I'm like, hey, you know, you can become a coach and save 25% on your next order. Would you be interested in that? You know?
Right.
And I can tell you that, yeah, probably 99% of my coaches, including Brian, started as a discount coach, you know? And, you know, if I would have came at him and said, Brian, do you want to make $1 million? He would have been like, I'm out of here. Yeah.
I think that's what you did come at me with the first call.
Yeah. All right, Paul, you're on. Can't hear you.
Oh, yeah, I was driving earlier. I just got back.
All right.
So, what do you want to know?
Just tell us a little about yourself.
Okay. My name's Paul.
Why are you on this call?
Yeah. Well, I'm here because it's the first one I've seen in a while, and I've been missing the calls for crying. I really have been. In fact, Judy's been asking me, hey, don't you have a call? Like, no, we haven't had a call for a while. It's been kind of thing. And, you know, believe it or not, I find these calls more motivating because I've kind of been falling behind without them, honestly. Even though I'm not the top performer on this venture yet, it's like, well, I kind of just falling down with my interaction, or I should say my motivation. It kind of keeps me going to even be on these calls. So I actually am glad to be here. When I saw it, I was like, oh, I got to get on this, but you know, I'm just going to listen when I'm driving down the road. So
yeah, anyway, awesome.
I'm here now.
And you're coming to Summit, right?
Yep, I'll be at Summit. So,
awesome.
And bringing my daughter down there with me this year, so she'll be there.
Okay, awesome.
And, let's see, we didn't get any hotels close by, but we rented a 2-bedroom apartment this year. So,
oh, that'll be nice.
It was a lot cheaper than the apartments, but it's about a 1.5 mile walk. So,
it's not bad.
Warm up. It'll be a good warm up.
Right. We've done those walks plenty of times, Nashville, and yeah.
Yep. Like I said, I'm not too worried about it because we've been there, and I do more than that every day at work. So it's not bad.
Yeah. You walk that far to work, don't you?
Oh, geez, I worked that far in the building.
Right, from the Boeing parking lot to the hangar or whatever.
No, actually, I'm inside of their newest building right now, which is basically I think it's about 1/2 mile long, 1/4 mile long, something like that. And of quarter-mile long, and I walk both sides of it. It's separated in two sides. So you walk down one way, it's quarter-mile, then you walk back around the other way. You got a half-mile, and you go to the other side of the building, do the same circle around it, and so it's a mile. You pull that about every day, so at least
Get your steps in, right?
Yeah, I average about 13,000 or so every day. Sometimes upwards of 20,000. Just depends on what I'm doing.
I only get that when I go to Summit. That's the only time.
Well, you ride a bike every day, so you got that going for you.
Yeah, I try. All right, thanks, Paul. Lisa, you're the final one, and you're muted. You want me to unmute you? Okay, go ahead.
Hi. Okay, I'm Lisa. I started doing Beachbody as like a discount coach, I don't know, last year or so. But I really haven't started anything yet now. But I've really committed to the programs, like starting January. And I've had a lot of success the last 6 months. So I thought now would be a good time to start sharing my story and saying, look at my transformation, come on this journey with me, but I am a total beginner. I'm kind of hopped on, my sister is Bridget, so kind of hopped on her challenge group, and we talked about partnering up and try to do something together.
That's a good idea.
But I'm
Great idea.
kind of lost.
And how long have you been a coach?
I've just been really a discount coach, for, I don't know, a year.
Okay.
But I really haven't talked about it, or other than posting to Bridget's group, I really haven't done much on my own.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's a great idea to partner up. And now, since everybody on this call knows each other, feel free to reach out to each other and, get together and partner up, or run groups together, or, just brainstorm of things that you can do or people you can talk to, right?
Right.
Yep.
Brian, you got anything to add?
And we're going to do, and Lisa, over the next couple of training calls, tonight was introductions and getting your coaching why down, which is very important, guys. That's that should be part of that 30-second commercial, a little bit about your why and why you do this, what is the driving force behind it. But we're going to go over a lot of different tools, Lisa, and things that you should be doing. We're going to share with you some trackers, daily activity trackers that you can start using that shows you everything you should be doing each day. And we're going to go over all of that stuff in the next upcoming calls. So by the time we're done with these coach calls this month, you're going to have a ton of stuff. You're going to know exactly what to do, all of you guys. And then the thing is, you just need to do it.
Yeah. And one thing that you should start doing, like whether you're just kicking off again or if you're brand new, go to the coach online office, go to the training section. There's a getting started. They just redid the training. So if you've been a coach more than a year, the training's totally changed. Do it's called a 30-30-30, do the 30-30-30 training to get started again. And then make sure you listen to the National Wake Up Call every single week. There's a podcast. It's on the Coach 411 page. There's a dial-in number. So there's half dozen ways that you can listen to it, but just commit to listening to it every single week. And I can tell you, I've listened every single week for 7 years, so, it's like John was saying, it's like you still take things away, even though you might have heard something 1,000 times. I can hear somebody say it and I could still take something away because they do it differently, or they give me an idea or something like that, Plus it's motivational, it's personal development. So, all right. Anything else to wrap up, Brian?
No, I think that's it.
Okay.
All I got.
All right, guys. So we'll see you next week. It's important that you come back, right? Can't just have one and done. So see you next Tuesday.